Hello friends and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are starting on day 4, so I've only played through for half a day or so. I've laid in a path, as you can see, around our tree planting area, which I have set up. We've got pines over this side, and all of this is going to be oak. I'm also putting in some steps down into the water here that we can put in some mangroves. Whether or not we'll be able to get that working whilst we haven't got any way of controlling the bad water that may well come up through this seep during a bad tide, yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. But it is what it is. I'm getting rid of these 2 seedlings so that we can get the path all the way around. We're also getting rid of these kohlrabies over here so that we can put in a different crop. Not sure what. Probably more what are these? Cassavas. These need the fermenter, which is just there, which we need 25 logs, which we do have. So that's okay. We're not going to build it just yet. We'll wait a little while. We are turning a lot of these logs into planks at the moment because we are currently making a bunch of platforms over here as well, so we can get up on top of these warehouses and put in more warehouses, obviously. Yeah, that's basically where we are. I'm going to turn this gatherer flag back on because we are running low on berries at the moment. Obviously we're using those in our breeding pods in order to make more beavers. Yeah, that's basically where we are. We're on cycle 2, so we've got probably a good couple of cycles before we get worried by any bad water. So we'll be taking our time a little bit. Obviously, we are working our way towards getting this geothermal field hooked up. For that, we need the geothermal engine, which is 160 science, which, yeah, we're a little way away from that at the moment. We have 47 science. We need 50 logs and 30 planks, which, again, a little way away. But that's okay. Oh, we actually have some space here to put in some more oak trees. I mean, not much. They haven't taken many trees out, but they are taking some out. In terms of cutting orders, for the moment, I've got them concentrating on this section over here. And in fact, we've got another spare beaver. So let's unlock that lumberjack flag and they can do the same. They can get rid of the pine trees over here. Yeah, all right. That's what's happening currently. We do need storage for cassavas, so we can set that up. There we go. With another medium warehouse up there, and you can be storing, where are we? Cassavas. And then, once we've got a stock of those, we'll put in the fermenter over here. And start fermenting them. And we'll be able to eventually put in another warehouse on there to store the fermented ones. That's where we are at the moment. I might actually put some storage up this end for food and water. That's probably not a terrible idea. So let's get ourselves... For the moment, we'll get a small tank in there, and I'll bring the path around like that. Because we could then eventually replace that with a larger tank, and it will just take up that space, and that will be fine. Okay, that's where we are. That's what's happening. We don't have a huge amount of water storage, but we do probably have a little bit of time before we get our next drought or bad tide to worry about. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna spin on for the moment. We've only got 2 in the district centre there. What are they actually doing? Yashi, what are you doing? You're hauling wood. Oh, planks. So presumably you're coming across to do something with those. Maybe put them in down here. Yeah, there we go. Putting those in for that set of steps there. So we still need another 3, but I suspect, yeah, we've probably got another couple coming along here. Well, another 1, but that's fine. We're working 20 hours a day. We're pushing the beavers a little bit. We've got this bad water source that is going to start bubbling up in about a week's time. I don't think... I mean, we did look at it last episode, but I don't think this is going to be a problem for us. I think it should just... I mean, it'll come around and fill up this little section here. But most of it will drain out over here, I believe. We may have more problems than that with it, but hopefully we'll be all right. And eventually we'll be able to cap these and do all sorts of stuff with that. Okay. Okay. I will spin on for a couple of days. I want to see what we can get done over here. Oops, I will remember to fill in the blanks here so that we can get everything growing well. I think that's all of the blanks there, yep. And obviously over here, as soon as they cut down the pines, which they won't be doing just yet, they'll just replant them. So that's okay. It's just over here with the oaks we need to worry about it. Okay, yes. I will spin on for a couple of days then and we'll see how we're doing. Okay, we're on day 8. So we've got most of the stuff done that we were waiting on. So we've got the steps down here into this lake area. I have set up, where are we? There we go. A little bit of planting there for mangroves. I've just put in a forester in that building there. I closed down this lumberjack for the moment. So we've got a forester in there that's replanting all of these cut trees, which is nice, which is, you know, necessary. Now, we could get up here and cut down these dead trees here. We've certainly got the resources for that. So let's do that. Let's get ourselves... oops. There we go. That was nice and tidy, wasn't it? Well done, John. Let's get ourselves some steps up onto this area here. We'll stick in a lumberjack up here. And we will mark all of these dead trees here to be cut. There we go. That should be all of them, I think. Yeah, looks like it. Alright, so that should give us a boost of logs. Good work, take your time, no rush. Alright, yeah. Our happiness is... yeah, it's not doing great at the moment. It's better than it was. We've got housing for everybody. We've got food and water for everybody. I mean, it's only basic food at the moment, but as you can see, we are now getting some cassavas coming in. So once we've got a decent stock of those, I think we can store 200 in here, can't we? Yeah. So once we've got a decent stock of cassavas, it'll be worth putting in the fermenter, for which we need 25 logs, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, honestly. Thank you, autosave. Doing a sterling job, as usual. So yeah, once this is done, we're not going to have anyone available to work in there, are we? No. I mean, we've only got a couple of trees to cut down over here, honestly, so... turning off this lumberjack flag over here, whilst we wait for these trees to be planted and grow, and have that beaver work over here in this lumberjack flag. Not a terrible idea. I mean, also not a terrible idea to maybe get another breeding pod on the go. Yeah. Maybe not a terrible idea for that. Yeah, alright, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get one more breeding pod in just there. Just so we can boost our population a little bit. Okay, so... what are you doing? Where are you? You're there, you're bringing logs back. Alright. Just the one tree left to cut. Once that's cut, then I will switch off that lumber flag. and put that beaver to work over here. Although we should get a couple of beavers growing up reasonably soon. A couple of days maybe. Okay, start of day 12. No drought or bad tide warning at the moment, so we're all right there. We've just put it in the fermenter. I've turned on this additional farmhouse so we can get some more cutting done. Or harvesting done, rather. We are getting the cutting done on these dead trees up here, which is nice. We've got a decent amount of food in storage at the moment, 295. Decent amount of water. I'm putting in another small tank for water over there. We've got the lumberjack turned off over here. We're just waiting for these last 4 trees to grow. We've got, yeah, some time before some of them are done. Maybe another 3-4 days before they're grown. Yeah, everything's good. So we should be now making fermented cassavas. So what I'm going to do is I'll set up another storage over there to store, where are we? Fermented cassavas. There we are. Excellent stuff. As you can see, our mangroves down here are starting to be planted. The pines are starting to be planted. We're just... I mean, it's going to take a while. We've just got the one beaver working on it. It's going to take a little while. We can pause you for the moment. So that gives us a spare beaver, which we'll keep hold of for now. It might be worth putting them in the district centre, but yeah, we'll leave it for the moment. We've got our additional breeding pod in, and it's going to pop in the next couple of days, hopefully. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We might want some more housing relatively soon. But for now, we'll keep it at what we've got. We've got 3 spaces, so... yeah, we've got these 3 breeding pods. So once they all pop out new kits, then that'll be our housing full. But I suspect we're going to have some more dying of old age relatively soon. So that should free up a couple of spaces. I mean, it's not the nicest way to free up spaces, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, where are we? There we are. So this has started flowing, and as predicted, it's filled up this section here, but is mostly flowing off the map over here. So that's not too bad. There's obviously a lot more of these bad water sources that are going to start opening up as we progress. But for the moment, it's not a major problem for us. Yeah, that's basically what's happening and where we are. Let's zoom back into our actual colony rather than just hovering in the air and overviewing everything. Yeah, so we are producing plenty of food. That's good. I'm going to take the priority off of that now. I did have it set to cassavas so we could actually start harvesting them. But we've got a lot of kohlrabis to harvest as well. Do we want to prioritise? No, that's prioritised on harvesting, so that's fine. They will harvest whatever's nearest, and you know they're kind of equidistant there, so that's okay. Our water tank is in. Doesn't appear to be filling up. That's all right. That's fine. Yeah, that's basically where we are. I think at this point I'm going to spin on until we get to the start of the... or at least until we get the warning for the drought or the bad tide. Yeah, I've got my sawmill turned off here, or the lumber mill turned off for the moment. We have 64 planks in storage, which is enough. It's enough to build the geothermal engine. And we do have the science for it as well. But I'll leave it just for the moment, just because I mean, we don't really need the power off there yet. It won't be long, but we don't need it just yet. There's the aquifer. Yeah, we haven't got any geothermal spots close to this aquifer, have we? No. Nothing hiding around here? No. Alright, so getting the power from one of these over to there is going to be a case of platforms, overhangs, and the like. Yeah. I also can't quite tell where the power needs to go in. Because it might be we need to drop it right down into there to go in the side there. In fact, it looks like that's exactly where we need to put it. All right. So we'd come up from there and then... I mean, I guess around the edge here, up onto there, and then drop down onto there is probably the best bet. Or maybe around the back that way. Don't know. We'll have to see about that. We do have the option of building a steam engine, but that does require both oil and logs to build. Is it oil or is it water? No, it's water, isn't it? Yeah, oil and water to build. Or to, yeah. To function. I mean, also we need metal blocks, but for now, yeah, I think we're going to have to, or we're going to want to connect up one of these power sources to it, and this one's probably the best one. We can then come across here and connect up through there. Alright, well, let's spin on till we get the drought or bad tide warning then, and we'll then know what we're dealing with. Okay, there we go. Day 15 brings with it a drought warning. We should be fine. We do seem to have a decent amount of water in storage. We have plenty of food, over 400 in storage now. So that's good. Over here, we do have our trees grown, except for this last one, which is still only at 94%. So that should be done probably by the end of the day. So we'll be able to cut that down and replace it with an oak. Yeah, it looks like we've got almost all of our mangroves planted. And we're working through everything else. We're pretty much done on the pine as well, so that's good. Yeah, everything's going swimmingly. I mean, we've got a lot of food to harvest, but that's fine. We've still got plenty of cassavas in storage that have been harvested, so we can ferment those and give us more food, which is nice. We are working our way through these trees up here, so we're getting plenty of logs in, and we do actually now have enough to build a geothermal engine, which, oh, it's quite big. Let's have a look. So does power come out? Oh, power comes out literally any side, it doesn't matter. We don't need to connect it to a path at all. Oh, excellent stuff. All right. Get in there, my son. Oh no, there's the drought. It's going to be 3 whole days. I think we'll be all right. We got 182 water in storage, 500 food. We're going to be all right. That's not going to be a major issue at all. Right. All of our pines are planted. All of our mangroves are planted. We are working on getting our oaks planted as well. So that's good. Over here. Oops. Let's get out of the rock. There we go. I'm trying to get a decent view of this thing. There we are. That's not too bad. Our geothermal engine is in. We are producing 400 horsepower, which is nice. So, let's start. We'll stick... How are we going to do this? Let's stick that on there like so. And then we will get a fermenter. It didn't quite work out the way I was hoping, but never mind. We'll stick a fermenter in there. There we go. So that should power both of those easily. And we shouldn't have any problems with resources for that. What I will do is I will pause this fermenter here. And I will pause the power wheel there. And we can actually just deconstruct all of this. because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, we will get all of the bits and pieces out of that. That's fine. Oh, we can get rid of that power shaft as well. There we are. Excellent stuff. I'm okay with that. So that's some resources there that we can get into storage sooner or later. For the moment, we only have 2 available workers. We haven't had any grow up for the last few days. Is it worth... How long have we got until... Oh, okay, these are about to pop. We're going to need more housing. Alright, well, let's have a 3rd barrack up there. That's fine with me. Right, so that should give us all the stuff we were producing back again. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Good, good, good. Right, as I say, this should be fine. We shouldn't have any problems with our water seep here. This is unlikely to drain over the 3 days. If it starts looking really dodgy, I will turn off one of these water pumps. But honestly, I don't think we'll need to. He says. You never know. Right, there's the end of the drought. Easy enough. 3 days, not a problem. Still 183 water, still over 500 food. Yeah, not going to be a huge problem. The water level has dropped quite considerably in this little water source down here, though. So that's not ideal. Not ideal at all. Yeah. I'm thinking that actually it's probably going to be easier for us to bring the power down this way. So connect off the side here maybe and then come around the edge. Possibly. I mean, it would be so much easier if we already had explosives, but we are some way away from explosives, I think. Yeah, we need metal blocks before we can get explosives. And I'd quite like to get this up and running as quickly as possible. Because that will be obviously another source of water which will be invaluable. Yeah, alright. Yeah, don't know what we're going to do about that, honestly. We're doing pretty well getting rid of the trees up here. There's only a couple left. So the next thing we really want to look at is opening up the gear workshop. I did spend some of our science on double platforms to get up on top here. So that's why that is there like that. And that's why we have no science left. So our mangrove trees are starting to grow. We're about a quarter of the way through their fruit growing cycle. So shouldn't be too long there. Maybe another sort of, 8 days or something? 7 days, something like that. So that'll be good. Yeah, I in terms of power, I really don't know. I mean, other than obviously just putting an engine up here, a steam engine, but then we do have to supply it with water, obviously, and that's not ideal on this map because, I mean, we don't have as many water sources already available, and to unlock any more is going to require power. And using steam engines everywhere, probably not the best idea. So I do want to get these connected up. Ideally, I'd connect these together. So we've got a circuit that has 800 horsepower on it, and then we can obviously expand out as we expand to wherever the next... I'm sure there are more of those on this map. But maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, there's one there. That's quite a way away from our colony, isn't it? Do we have any others? I guess not then. Oh no, there's one down there. Alright, so we've got 2 more on this map by the looks of it. Which is only 1600 horsepower. Which is, I mean, it's a lot for where we are at the moment, and it would probably power some industry. Yeah, not ideal. So we are going to rely on those as much as we have to. Okay, where's this one? This one's over here. So that's going to run down into there, which is going to come down into here, which is where this one overspills into. So that will feed out the same way, presumably. What I don't really want it to do is start overflowing here and filling this up too much. I don't want a huge bad water lake over here. That would not be ideal. What do we need for a... There we go. 4,000 science, and then a lot of resources that we... None of which we're currently producing. Alright, okay. How are we doing? We've got 9 housing spaces left. That's alright. We've got 1 unemployed beaver currently. We do have a full district centre. Right, I think... I'm going to pop in another inventor so we can double up on our science production. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Right, we've got 3 kids. We've got a few days before we get any more in. Alright, let's play on for a couple of days then. Okay, so we've got ourselves an injured beaver. So I've spent 80 of our science points, which has knocked us back down to 27 science points. We're going to be putting in a medical bed here. I will pop that on a mild priority. I don't think we're building anything else at the moment. No, we've got our gatherer's flag in there, which we will pause for now because we don't need it. But this is going to be for our mangroves. In fairness, it will also reach most of these berry bushes as well, apart from that one there. But that's fine. So we can probably leave this one off, and once it's emptied out, we'll destroy it. And just use this one. There we go. Oh, the medical bed is done. So Romovax can relax in the medical bed. Excellent stuff. I'll carry on spinning on for the next few days then. I mean, ideally we want to get to... What are we looking at? 100 science so we can unlock the gear workshop. Right then, day 7, and we can afford... Where are we? There we are, the gear workshop. We should be able to afford the gear workshop. 100 science. Yes, there we go. Excellent stuff. Right. Hook that up. We need 25 planks, which we have, and 15 logs, which we have. And then it will use planks in order to produce. So, what I would like to do... I mean, I don't really want to waste too much space along here. Yeah, let's pop that in there, I think. And then we'll put a path up to it, obviously. You're going to be storing planks. And then there we'll put in a warehouse. And you can be storing gears. And in fact, we will straight away do that. Oops. And stick in more storage on top. And have you storing logs. There we go. Yeah, that should be alright. Okay, so we're already back up to nearly 50 science. I think what we want to be aiming for next is likely over here. The scavenger flag and the smelter. We're going to need 550 in total for those. But that will allow us to start producing metal blocks, which will be useful. Obviously, we'll need to put in some storage. If we're going to put the smelter in here... I think it's 4x2. Yeah. We could put that in there, and then we could bring power off the side. I mean, if we really wanted to be silly about it, we could stick it in like that, or, yeah, like that. And bring power off the back, and then feed the power along this path, up the side here, and then up onto this level. Oops. And we use that to plug into the aquifer. What we will need to do is connect this up to this, before we can do that. So let's get ourselves... How high is this? This is fine. This is fine. Right. Let's get up there. And we'll put ourselves in a lumberjack flag here. And we will cut down all of these dead trees up here. And that'll give us access to this geothermal field over here. And we can stick in another geothermal engine. And then presumably run the power over the back here and connect them together. Yeah, well there's a plan for that. Okay. How are you doing? You're waiting for pretty much everything. Alright. Well, we're on day 7. Let's spin on. Okay, there we go. That didn't take long. So the gear workshop is in. We've already got the storage for the gears set up. Storage for planks is set up. We're working on the steps and the platform to get the next industrial pile set up. We have not, however, started laying in these stairs over here yet. We'll get round to it. Other than that, we're just going to spin on, probably to the start of the or at least until the warning of the drought and the bad tide. We do have, whoops, as I say, this other bad water source over here is going to fire up shortly. And that's going to spill out down again into this area here. We should be alright with 2 of them. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We will want to obviously block these off at some point. Or, I mean, there might be one. Where are we? Where's the... Yeah, I don't know where the tallest one is, but we could, in theory, say we choose this one. We just build up levees around it and create a huge reservoir, and then use that to have a extended power wheel system coming off of it, maybe. Don't know. We could get quite a lot of power from it, in theory. Yeah, it needs to be too deep again, but yeah, we could do that. We could build this right up and create an artificial reservoir there. Yeah, and then just cap the rest, basically. Alright, anyway, we have stuff to be getting on with. We're still building the storage over there. Then we'll move on to this down here. We should have enough planks and logs to build everything. It's just a matter of time. We don't have any free workers at the moment. We do have 5 children. We've just had 2 born out of these breeding pods down here. So in theory, our population should be rising. We'll see. Okay, start of day 15, and there is the drought warning. That's all right. We'll cope with another drought, I suspect. We've got 240 available storage for water. We might need a little bit more, honestly. So I think let's stick in just 3. I say just stick in 3 more behind there, like that. We've got the logs for it at the moment, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. As you can see towards the bottom down here. There we go. We're also building, or we've also built steps up over this little section here. And actually means it's quicker to go around this way than it is to go around this way sometimes. So, as you can see, we do have beavers walking over this section. I wasn't intending that, but it's fine. Okay, we've also exposed, as it were, this geothermal field. So, let's immediately get ourselves a geothermal engine on there. And I want to unlock the vertical power shaft. It's only 40 science. We have 325. Yes, please. It's logs, planks, and gears to make it. But again, we have hopefully most of what we need. We're a bit short on planks. In fact, I might want to pause the gear workshop just for a moment, just to allow us to build up a bit more of a stockpile of planks, so we can actually use them to build these vertical power shafts. I've completely lost where I am now. There we go. Right. We didn't need... Actually, we don't need verticals on top there like that. We'll swap these out for standard power shafts across the top. And we'll do the same. We'll bring that down there. And we'll put in verticals there. And then regular power shaft like so. That's going to come out that way. Into there, we'll have a vertical there with a regular power shaft on top. And that should connect up those two power sources. Oh, not quite. Probably help if I did that, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, so that should be everything we need to connect those two up. Obviously, that's a lot more logs and planks and things like that than we actually have. I suspect, what with the geothermal engine eating up pretty much all the planks we have. But we should be able to get quite a lot of that done fairly quickly. So, I will spin on till the start of the drought and we'll see how far through all of that we've got. Right, there we are. 5 days. We should be okay. We've still got the water that's actually in this lake here. We've got 291 in storage. Ideally, I'd want more than that, but that should see us through. We've actually got some mangroves stored up. We've got a whole bunch of fermented cassavas. We've got a whole bunch of kohlrabis, a whole bunch of berries. That's fine. We've got 200 cassavas in storage, waiting to be fermented. We've got ourselves a second geothermal engine in place. We are working on the last of the power shafts there. So there's just that vertical to go in there and then that power shaft there. And then we've got, well, those 4 there. We should be fine. We've got plenty of logs in storage. So that should be done fairly quickly. And then that will be connected up, which is lovely. Yeah, I think we've made a good start. We've finally got these trees in and growing. Obviously, we're waiting for our oaks to grow. We're waiting for another few days before they start growing. But as you can see, we've got our mangroves in. I'm going to delete this gatherer flag because it's no use to us. I can delete these 2 lumberjack flags because, again, not a lot of use to us. Right, let's spin on till these power connections are finished. Here we go. That's the last one going in. Who are you? Ronjati. Hurry up, Ronjati. There we go. Right, so that's all connected up. 800 horsepower going through that power line there. That's good. Right. So yeah, I was thinking if we get the smelter in on this end and then spread the power this way, we can just bring that all the way along and then up and around the side here. And we can connect it into the aquifer up here. Obviously, that's going to be next episode or a future episode. We're not going to be able to do that straight away. But I think we've done pretty well this episode. We've got our industry moved. We've got a fair amount of power available on there. We're only using... we're currently only using 125. Why is that? Oh, because you're full of cassavas. All right, well, we'll turn you off for the moment, I suppose. I mean, I guess we could put in more storage there for fermented cassavas, couldn't we? I mean, more food is always useful. There we go. Let's do that. We'll use the space wisely and get more fermented cassavas in there. And in fact, then we can turn that back on. We've got 19 planks. I'm going to leave the gear workshop off for the moment. Let us build up a bit more of a stockpile of, in fact, logs and planks are a bit short. Are there any more within a... I mean, there's a few up here, but they're pretty scrappy. Although this is where we're going next, so... let's have a look. That's going to be what we need to get up there, isn't it? I haven't even looked at the spiral staircase yet. It costs 350 science. Yeah, that'll be why. Although it's probably a space saver, isn't it? Alright, we'll think about that when we start thinking more about elevation. Yeah, we'll get that in and we can bring the power up around this way and connect in there. But we will leave it there for this episode. So if you want to see how we do in this, 5-day drought, you'll have to come back for the next one. Please do let me know what you think down in the comments. All the engagement really helps. Thank you very much to everybody who does watch, engage, comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Very much appreciated. If you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would also be very much appreciated. But not so much as coming back next time. Until then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And bye-bye.